Now on CoastTV News.
We'll see a cool and wet start to the week for Delmarva, then building surf and dangerous rip currents due to Hurricane Erin tracking offshore. I'll have the latest details coming up next.
Rip current risk.
We're on alert.
With Erin moving north, how the Ocean City Beach Patrol is preparing for rough waters this week. Pursuing peace talks. European leaders heading to the White House today. What to expect in the next steps following Friday's meeting between President Trump and Russian President Putin. Cleaner Coast campaign.
Obviously, we don't want to be on a messy beach.
The moves one coastal community is making in the effort to get rid of garbage on the beach.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And it is August 18th, 2025. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick. Elisa Weber is off today. Thank you for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour on Monday. And we're looking at a little bit of a drop in temperatures as First Alert meteorologist Bob Chahi joins us now with a look at First Alert weather. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Delmarva. Indeed, we are going to be looking at cooler conditions and wetter conditions to start the week. We're looking at temperatures in the low 70s right now, 71 in Willard, 72 in Millsboro, a little milder at the coast, 75 in Ocean City and Rehoboth. Winds are light and out of the northwest now, but they're going to shift to the northeast as we go through the morning hours as we're tracking a cold front that is moving in from the north, and that's going to pretty much stall just to our south and be the focus for clouds and some showers, I think, as we go into the next couple of days. Here's Futurecast showing the low clouds building in this morning and becoming overcast mid-morning. As a northeast wind kicks in, we start to see some showers building in around the noon hour. I think we'll see patchy drizzle as well with this northeast breeze. It's going to feel cooler than the actual temperatures, and temperatures actually falling through the 70s in the afternoon with areas of rain and drizzle right through the evening hours. And we do have a higher rip current risk along the Delaware coast, not in association with Erin. That'll be coming later this week, but we'll be seeing those showers building later this morning into this afternoon. But of course, the big story is Hurricane Erin and its indirect effects on us. I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Bob. And our top story this hour, our beach communities are preparing for the impacts of Hurricane Erin. Category 4 hurricanes expected to cause dangerous rip currents. Ocean City Beach Patrol is telling people of what they can do if caught in one, keeping people who live in the town on alert.
On alert. Erin is coming, but she's going to be offshore. So we're going to have big waves. We're going to have a lot of rip current.
And according to the Beach Patrol, if you are stuck in a rip current, swim parallel to the shore. Hurricane Erin is expected to track away from the U.S. as it churns through the Atlantic Ocean north of the Caribbean. The hurricane is one of the fastest, rapidly intensifying storms in Atlantic history. Erin is still expected to avoid a direct hit on any landmass. It is passing north of Puerto Rico, then likely curve northeast into the open Atlantic between the East Coast and Bermuda this week. And happening tonight, Milton's fiscal year 2026 budget could move closer to finalization. The town council will review plans that call for nearly $5 million in expenses. Milton is projecting that with taxes, fees, grants, and other resources, it will have over $5.5 million in revenue. A vote by the town council could occur at their 6:30 p.m. meeting. Milton's fiscal year begins on October 1st. Tonight in Ocean City, we could see the next step in the town establishing timeframes of people using some form of a bike on the boardwalk. We're talking bicycles and Class 1 electric bikes. It's a bike that does not exceed 20 miles per hour. Push carts, electric personal assistance mobility devices. Council and mayor are looking at allowing these midnight to noon from Saturday of Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day. There was a first reading of this ordinance at the mayor and town council meeting at 6 p.m. Also at tonight's meeting, extending parking options for organizers of the White Marlin Open. This allows the Open to use 30 feet of parking along Jacqueline Avenue between 14th and 15th Street. It extends the approval of the parking through 2030. A beloved playground in Lewis raising some safety concerns. Parents say the Canal Front Park is just too close to the water and they should have a fence. They're warning without a barrier, children could run from the play area to the water in seconds, turning a day of fun into tragedy. Now, some are urging city officials to act. They're expected to present a petition at today's Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, pointing to CDC data showing drowning is one of the leading causes of accidental death for children. especially toddlers. Whether you live here on the coast or just visiting the beautiful beaches of Delmarva, you can see how important it is to keep the beaches clean. In Lewis, there are 2 new recycling bins that you can use. It's part of the Recycling Right program. It's only for bottles and cans. One man we spoke with visits the beach yearly, saying anything will help.
From time to time, see some litter, but yeah, I think any initiative to clean things up is a good thing. Obviously, we don't want to be on a messy beach.
And Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco says depending on the results from these bins, you might see more of them in the future. Happening today in Salisbury, road work is set to begin on Carroll Street, and officials say drivers should plan for some delays. You can see the area we're talking about right now on your screen. And this is for a paving project from Route 13 to Circle Avenue. According to the city, it is hoped the work finishes on August 22nd and includes milling, paving, and striping. Salisbury Mayor Randy Taylor says the project will result in 2 lanes in each direction, and the city says the goal is to have everything done before the start of the Maryland Folk Festival on September 19th. Now taking a live look at Washington, D.C., President Trump meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky later today as he pushes for peace between Russia and Ukraine. European leaders are joining Zelensky, and NBC's Alice Barr shows us what is expected out of the gathering that comes on the heels of a meeting between Trump and Russian President Putin on Friday.
Today, the next step in the push for peace, with President Trump hosting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House, along with several European leaders signaling their support for Ukraine's interests and future security in any peace deal with Russia. President Trump posting overnight, "Never had so many European leaders at one time. My great honor to host them," while Zelensky cautioned against past moves giving up Ukrainian territory, which he said Putin simply used as a springboard for a new attack. Russian President Vladimir Putin, fresh off his Friday summit in Alaska with President Trump, is demanding to keep the roughly 20% of Ukraine that Russia now occupies. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying the U.S. is not pressing for that.
If there's going to be a peace deal, it's not going to look like that.
While defending the Trump administration's push for a broader peace deal over the ceasefire Ukraine and Europe want first, but Russia denied. President Trump had said there would be severe consequences if Putin said no. Secretary Rubio now saying imposing more sanctions imperils negotiations.
The minute he takes those steps, all talk stop.
Democrats slamming the administration's approach and Putin's red carpet treatment in Alaska.
And so Putin walks away with his photo op with 0 commitments made and 0 consequences. What a great day for Russia.
Special Envoy Steve Witkoff saying Russia did agree to strengthened security guarantees for Ukraine, noting there are plenty of details to discuss when Ukraine gets its seat at the table today. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Cambridge is giving people in the city a say in shaping its future. All starts today with a kickoff event for its comprehensive plan. Officials say the plan will cover how land, housing, transportation, also the use of other resources. Maryland law requires these plans to address everything from community facilities and development regulations to sensitive environmental areas and fisheries. City leaders say public participation is key, and people living in Cambridge can attend meetings, join listening sessions, or send in written comments. We could see some changes to Selbyville's policy on short-term rentals. That is what is up for review at this afternoon's Town Council special workshop. And what they're looking at is creating a time period to phase out existing non-conforming short-term rentals and homes. Today's workshop is scheduled for 4 p.m. at the Town Hall. And later tonight in Georgetown, officials are looking at grant requests from local nonprofits. According to the Great Fund Committee, the Georgetown Public Library is asking for $15,000, La Esperanza $10,000, and First Community Action $6,000. Committee is scheduled to hear these and other requests tonight at 5. And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today. Coming up, Rehoboth request rejected. Why a desired land purchase that garnered mixed opinions did not receive city approval. Also ready to take on riptides, how the Ocean City Beach Patrol says you can get out of one if you're caught in a rip current. And hospital extension expected. What changes are at Tidal Health Peninsula Regional as it undergoes construction. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
It is 5:12 on our Monday morning, seeing mostly cloudy skies on the Bay Health Cam in Dover right now. And we're looking at mild temperatures in the low to mid 70s right now. And temperatures not climbing much today. We've got a cold front headed our way. Winds light out of the northwest now. They'll eventually shift to the northeast behind a cold front that is now tracking through Delmarva. That'll be stalling just to our south and be the focus for clouds and showers as we go through the day. Here's your drive cast this morning. I gave it the green light, dry and mild conditions, but have the umbrella handy this afternoon. The PM commute, I gave it the yellow light for scattered showers and drizzle as well. I'll have the latest on our work week forecast and Erin and the effects of that storm coming up in a little bit.
The Milton Theater is moving forward with phase 2 of its expansion to support youth programs and improve audience experience. The Milton Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on the project tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. The expansion will add classroom, rehearsal space, and increase parking. Theater officials say the extra space will ensure no child is turned away from these popular education programs that are often sold out. We covered the original proposal back in May, and to see a rendered image of what the new addition will look like, visit CoastTV.com and search Milton Theater. Construction is scheduled at Tidal Health Peninsula Regional in Salisbury. The healthcare organization says starting this Wednesday, August 20th, a temporary sidewalk will be in place on East Vine Street. It will connect the same-day surgery entrance to the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute. And in the coming weeks, crews will add striping and make enhancements to crosswalks and sidewalks in that area. Officials say the work is part of its endoscopy expansion program. U.S. Postal Service will honor the late President Jimmy Carter with a new stamp. The Forever stamp will come out on October 1st. That's the day that would have been the president's 101st birthday. Stamp features an image of Carter from a 1982 painting. Carter died last December at the age of 100. Star Trek is celebrating its 60th anniversary with new action figures. The franchise first launched in 1966. Then the Seal Company, who has the rights to produce toys and play sets, plans on a number of releases. The first set will feature rare characters such as Peter Preston and Valkyrie. Fans can even expect more releases leading up to 2026.
Here's a live look into Ocean City right now in the Gateway Subaru Cam. Seas pretty calm now, but they'll be building with time as we're watching the dangerous Hurricane Erin offshore, and that's going to increase the rip currents as well. In the meantime, we're looking at showers and cooler conditions to start the week. I'll have much more on that, plus Erin's indirect effects on us coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Time is 5:17, and we're getting a live look now at Ocean City. You got the Ferris wheel lighting up in the background there. And Bob, if you look, you see some of the smaller waves hitting the coast. You're tracking Erin, and so waves could look a little different as we get further along in the week.
Yeah, I think so, Matt. I think by Thursday we could be looking at 6 to 12-foot waves across part of our coastal area, as we'll be seeing Erin tracking well offshore, becoming more of a minimal hurricane, but the impacts will be widespread later Tuesday into Friday. We're looking at life-threatening rip currents, dangerous surf, beach erosion, and also coastal flooding. And I think 6 to 12-foot waves definitely possible, especially as we go into Thursday. More on Erin coming up here in a second, but we're starting out this morning in the low to mid 70s across the area. 72 in Millsboro, 74 in Bethany Beach. We have a light northwesterly wind now, but that'll be shifting northeast as a cold front is beginning to slide through Delmarva right now. And right now it is located right around Dover, back into areas of Virginia. It'll be sliding through, and as it does, the clouds will increase. We'll see that wind shifting to the northeast, and then that front will basically stall just to our south in the next couple of days, keeping us kind kind of cloudy, a little drizzly with some areas of light rain. Here's Futurecast this morning. We're seeing some breaks in the overcast now, but as we go through the morning, we're going to start to cloud things up. Here's 9 a.m. with cloudy skies and the northeast wind starting to pick up, and they get pretty breezy by noon. And we could see areas of scattered drizzle and light rain, and temperatures on the cool side only in the mid to maybe upper 70s, and actually falling a little bit by mid-afternoon with scattered areas of drizzle and light rain and a strong northeast wind and kind of a miserable Monday evening, more patchy light rain and drizzle. And moving into Tuesday, more of the same. We're looking at a southeasterly breeze, more light rain and drizzle, and temperatures really not going anywhere into the mid 70s. And we keep that raining threat going through Tuesday evening, finally breaking things up Wednesday. And with that, a little warmer with temperatures into the 70s and 80s with sunshine. We do have a rip current risk from Lewis down to Fenwick Island, not in association with Hurricane Erin, but that onshore flow will make rip currents pretty dangerous as we go into the afternoon. Winds gusting over 30 miles per hour out of the northeast, and will continue with these east-northeast winds as we go through the next couple of days. Here is Erin barely hanging on to Category 4 status. Winds of 130, gusting to 160. A powerful storm, and usually as these storms weaken, they start to spread out. So we're seeing it lashing the Turks and Caicos right now. And we'll be seeing this turning to more of a northerly position and still a major hurricane off the southeast coast, and then attract out to sea well off our coast as we go into Thursday and Friday. And all the models are taking it well offshore, basically between Cape Hatteras and Bermuda as we go through the end of the week, and building surf later Tuesday into Wednesday. You can see the yellow and orange colors indicating surf of around 6 to 10 feet. But then look what happens as we go into Thursday. You see some of this red along the Maryland coast. We could be talking about 6 to 12 foot waves, maybe not as high along the Delaware coast, but that is still going to cause beach erosion and coastal flooding concerns with a northeasterly wind. And then things do start to calm down as we go into your Friday. Today, 76 in Georgetown, 79 in Lewis, cooler with scattered showers. Cambridge, 76, Vienna, 76, and around 82 in Crisfield, a little milder for you with 75 in Ocean City. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, unsettled the next couple of days, cooler with showers, and then dangerous surf and rip currents beginning Tuesday, lasting into a part of Friday, and cool upper 70s and low 80s and dry. And right now the weekend looking good with low to mid 80s and a mix of sun and clouds. And congratulations to Joyce Stevens from Milton on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
All right, thank you, Bob. And as Bob just mentioned, Hurricane Erin could bring dangers to our coast. Future waves could lead to stronger rip currents. So what happens if you get stuck in the current? According to the Ocean City Beach Patrol, you should swim even with the shoreline until the current weakens, then swim to shore. If that doesn't work, float or tread water and call our wave for nearby lifeguards.
Always encourage people to swim only when lifeguards are on duty, whether you're at the beach or at a pool. We're on duty from 10 to 5:30.
And according to Lieutenant Stone, rough waters could develop along the Ocean City Beach, and the Ocean City Beach Patrol says it is keeping an eye out on the conditions daily. Up next, Rehoboth request rejected. We'll tell you about the hefty price tag for one piece of land and why city leaders denied its purchase. Stay with us on Coast TV News today. On your screen now is Lake Garrar Park and Rehoboth Beach. Private property owners that live on Virginia Avenue wanted to purchase just over 1,400 square feet of this park. And for that 1,400 square feet of land, price tag was set at about $540,000. The purchase would have allowed the property owner to take their lot exactly to 5,000 square feet. Purchase would also allow their lot to split into two separate parcels. People Coast TV spoke with, they had mixed opinions on the future of this land.
I don't really understand the rhyme or reason. Probably the owners want to have a bigger backyard, but I doubt we get to visit their backyard.
I don't have a problem with somebody purchasing the land as long as it doesn't affect the ecosystem.
Yeah, however, on Friday, after 2 hours of presentations and public comment, the city commissioners and mayor unanimously voted to deny the purchase of this land. Rehoboth Beach officials said if they were to approve the purchase, it would go against the city's comprehensive plan. Got a dip in temperatures that we're tracking, and with things getting less hot and humid, Bob, we could get some pleasant conditions at our beaches.
Maybe this morning before the showers move in, and a high rip current threat, not association with Hurricane Erin, but it's an onshore flow. We're going to be looking at dangerous rip currents. Into the 70s for Ocean City and Fenwick Island today with increasing showers. UV index moderate, waves around 2 to 4 feet, but gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour. Mid 70s for Lewis with showers, breezy, kind of cooler for Rehoboth as well. On the bay side, we're looking at showers for you in Cambridge too. Temperatures in the 70s, near 80 in Crisfield with some showers. And of course, the talk of the town is Hurricane Erin and the effects on us. I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on.
Bob, after the break on Coast TV News today, recycling on the beach. We'll tell you about a new program underway in Lewis. Also, Milton money decision, possible vote by town leaders ahead of the start of a new fiscal year. And expecting Hurricane Erin. We'll have the path of the storm and how it could impact Delmarva. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
We'll see a cool and wet start to the week for Delmarva, then building surf and dangerous rip currents due to Hurricane Erin tracking offshore. I'll have the latest details coming up next.
Rip current risk.
We're on alert.
With Erin moving north, how the Ocean City Beach Patrol is preparing for rough waters this week. Pursuing peace talks. European leaders heading to the White House today. What to expect in the next steps following Friday's meeting between President Trump and Russian President Putin. Cleaner Coast campaign.
Obviously, we don't want to be on a messy beach.
The moves one coastal community is making in the effort to get rid of garbage on the beach.
This is Coast TV News Today.
It's 18th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. It is a solo situation today as Elisa Weber is off this morning, and it is 5:30 a.m. First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahe joins us now to help you prepare as you make your way out the door. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Matt. And you want to make sure you have the umbrella and raincoat on standby. We're going to be seeing increasing showers as we go through the day, and a little cooler too. Right now we're in the low 70s, inland areas, mid 70s at the coast, 76 in Lewis, 2 around Ocean City, and 72 in Millsboro with a northwesterly wind. But as the front comes through, those winds will be shifting to the northeast, and we'll be increasing the clouds. Right now it's partly cloudy skies, but this front around Dover right now will be settling to the south of us, wind shifting to the northeast. And that front will stall essentially over the top of us or to our south and be the focus for clouds and showers the next couple of days, as Futurecast is showing the clouds increasing, the northeast winds too, and eventually showers later this morning into this afternoon. Patchy drizzle as well, and temperatures actually falling through the 70s this afternoon. Make sure you have your raincoat because it's going to be pretty unsettled as well as we go into the evening hours. Temperatures in the low 70s, spotty drizzle and some light rain. And we do have a rip current risk, not in association with the hurricane, but from Lewis to Fenwick Island, building seas and also coastal flood issues, maybe some coastal flooding beginning later today and tonight. Here's your ferry riding forecast. It's going to be a little bumpy with some whitecaps, gusty northeast winds up to 30 miles per hour, becoming breezy and a little rainy by early afternoon with more of that on and off rain into Tuesday.
Thank you, Bob. In our top story this half hour, Delmarva is bracing for the possible impacts of Hurricane Erin. While the storm is not expected to make landfall here, its force will most likely bring dangerous rip currents. Right now, Erin is a Category 4 hurricane that is passing north of Puerto Rico. And according to experts, Hurricane Erin is one of the fastest, rapidly intensifying storms in Atlantic history. It's making noise through the Atlantic Ocean north of the Caribbean. Storm is likely to curve northeast into the open Atlantic. That'll be between the East Coast and Bermuda. Tonight in Ocean City, we could see the next step in the town establishing timeframes of people using some form of bike on the boardwalk. We're talking about bicycles and Class 1 electric bikes. That's a bike that doesn't exceed 20 miles per hour. Also push carts and electric personal assistance mobility devices. Council and mayor, they're looking at allowing these midnight to noon from Saturday and Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day. And there is a first reading of an ordinance at the mayor and council meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Also happening tonight, Milton's fiscal year 2026 budget could move closer to finalization. Town council is reviewing plans that call for nearly $5 million in expenses. Milton is projecting that with taxes, fees, grants, and other resources, it will have over $5.5 million in revenue. A vote by the council could occur at their 6:30 p.m. meeting. Milton's fiscal year begins on October 1st. A beloved playground in Lewis is now raising some concerns. Parents say the Canal Front Park playground, it's just too close to the water. You can see its location right there. And they say it should have a fence. Those parents warn that without a barrier, children could run from the play area into the water in seconds, and that could turn a day of fun into tragedy. Supporters are now urging city officials to act with a petition that's set for presentation at today's Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. Advocates point to CDC data showing drowning is one of the leading causes of accidental death for children, especially toddlers. Whether you live here on the coast or you're just visiting one of our beautiful beaches, we know how important it is to keep the beaches clean. And Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson shows us what the city of Lewis is trying to do in the fight against littering.
Plastic bottles on the sand of Johnny Walker Beach.
Every time I come to the beach, some kind of plastic or something on the beach.
But now there are 2 new recycling bins you can use. The Recycling Right program, only for bottles and cans. In a PSA, Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco says, depending on the results from these bins, you could soon see more of them.
And as long as we can just put bottles and cans into the recycling at the beach, then this is going to be a successful pilot and we'll bring it to all of our beaches.
There's already a $50 fine in place here in Lewis if you're found littering. For a second offense within the last 2 years of your first offense, that fine is going to increase to $75. So to save yourself money and keep the beaches beautiful, you can go ahead and use the new recycling bins.
Jeff Harshman visits the beach yearly and says anything will help.
From time to time, see some litter, but yeah, I think any initiative to clean things up is a good thing. Obviously, we don't want to be on a messy beach.
Recycling the right way. Lewis cleaning Johnny Walker Beach, 1 bottle or can at a time. In Lewis, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Now taking a live look at the White House in Washington. It is there. It's a little dark. Some lights are on, though, as European leaders will join in a big meeting at that building between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. New overnight, the key European and NATO leaders are heading to Washington. That includes Zelensky. This is to help to navigate America's new approach to ending the war. That meeting comes just days after a high-stakes summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska.
But what we're trying to do right now is end the war. And in order to end a war, you've got to give every opportunity that exists.
U.S. continues efforts to mediate an agreement between Ukraine and Russia to end the war. A plan Trump now says calls for a peace deal rather than a ceasefire. Happening today, roadwork set to take place on Carroll Street in Salisbury, and officials say drivers should plan for some delays. You can see the area that we're talking about right now on your screen. And crews will work on a paving project from Route 13 to Circle Avenue. According to the city, work takes place today with a hope for completion date of August 22nd. That work includes milling, paving, and striping. Salisbury Mayor Randy Taylor says the project will result in 2 lanes in each direction. And the city says it plans to finish the work before the Maryland Folk Festival on September 19th. And we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News Today in this half hour. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, honoring former Delaware governor, the funeral arrangements for Mike Castle taking place this week. Also, it was wild in Washington, the big lead, blowing a big lead. How the Phillies survived the series finale against the Nationals. And horticulture helps mental health. We'll show you a new feature at a Delmarva high school that aims to give students a mental health break. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Just about 5:40 on our Monday morning, starting to see some daylights on the Spicer Brothers Camp in Salisbury. 71 degrees right now. We've got lower 70s inland, mid 70s at the beaches. A little warmer there. A northwesterly breeze will be shifting to the northeast as a cold front is swinging through today. And that cold front right around Dover, it'll be sliding through and then stalling to our south, keeping us cloudy and kind of showery the next couple of days. Here's your golf forecast. My putting not good and the weather not so good today, with breezy and cooler conditions, light rain and drizzle, and temperatures only in the upper 70s. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico.
Happening today, Humane Animal Partners is offering free spay and neuter surgeries for cats. This is at its Rehoboth Beach location in Midway Plaza. Clinic takes place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and includes free rabies vaccine if needed. There are no income requirements to participate in this program, but it is by appointment only. Just in time for back-to-school season, Delaware's Division of Public Health is bringing health care right to your neighborhood. This is through its Community Health Services mobile unit. Families can access free services, including HIV testing, COVID-19 tests and vaccines, flu shots, diabetes and cholesterol screenings, blood pressure checks, and more. No appointment is needed and insurance is accepted but not required. The mobile unit will travel to various locations across Sussex County starting tomorrow. And for a full list of dates and times where this unit will be located in Sussex County this week, you can just head over to CoastTV.com. A Dorchester County school is giving its students a new way to manage their mental health. Cambridge South Dorchester High School installed a healing garden ahead of the new school year, and school officials say the space promotes psychological and social well-being through therapeutic horticulture. Space has raised planting beds for native plants and sensory elements. Final game of the first versus worst series in Washington between the Phillies and Nationals, and the last place team in the NL East, the Nats. They've actually held their own over the weekend by winning 2 of 3. The Phillies are looking to get a split in the district. Phillies got a run in the first, and here we are in the second. Kyle Schwarber pulls it to right. That's a nice 2-out piece of hitting as Rafael Marchand scores. Phillies go up 2-0. Going to stay in the second. It's now 3-0, and a welcome back from the injured list, Alec Boehm. 3-run Jack City, and the Phillies get a 5 spot in the frame. Next inning, it's the Nationals' turn. Bases juiced for Dalen Lyle, pulls it to right. Luis Garcia scores. C.J. Abrams scores. Nets get 6 in the third. They tie the game. We go to the fourth, and here's Weston Wilson. Big 2-out, bases-loaded hit. Boehm and Nick Castellanos give the Phillies an 8-6 lead, and then in the sixth, Nick with a big blast. Phillies get a split in the series with an 11-9 win. The road trip's over. Phillies begin a series at the Park tonight against the Mariners. Sam Basayo, who played 83 games for the Shorebirds in 2023, made his Major League debut on Sunday. He had a hit and an RBI in helping the Orioles to a 12-0 win over the Astros. There's what's coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8:30. You can relive the bathtub races in Berlin, and then, as always, you can catch the final score at 10:30. 2 stars return to the Scary Movie franchise, and Kristen Wiig lands a new role. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I'm in the house. Do you know where I am? You're behind the couch. I can see your feet.
Scary Movie brings back 2 of its original stars. Anna Faris and Regina Hall are set to reunite for a new installment in the horror spoof franchise. Returning writer and star Marlon Wayans announced the news on Instagram. The 6th film in the series is due to land in theaters next summer. Kristen Wiig lends her voice to a heroic new film. The actress will voice mechanical warrior Roboto in the latest big-screen adaptation of Masters of the Universe, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Based on the popular 1980s toy line, the movie is due in theaters in June. Classic scares return to the big screen. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is back in theaters nationwide tonight only. The event kicks off Fathom Entertainment's Fright Fest 2025 and coincides with the day in which the events of the beloved horror film take place. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Rough week You can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. Sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign-up and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Live look into Dover showing cloudy skies right now, and we're going to be seeing a cooler and wetter start to the week for Delmarva. Then the attention turns to Hurricane Erin offshore. We'll be seeing building surf and rip current risk and very high waves and maybe some coastal beach erosion as well. The latest on Erin and expected wave heights coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Time is 5:47, and we're checking out the live scene at Salisbury University on this Monday morning. Cooler, but some showers, Bob, is how we're starting our week.
Yes, indeed, Matt. And I think our lawns will appreciate it. I don't know about yours, but mine's a little on the brown side, so I think it'll be good to see some of that rain. And the first couple of days of the week are going to start a little unsettled with showers, kind of cloudy and cool out there, and struggling to get out of the 70s. And we're going to see drizzle along with those shower chances with an onshore flow the next couple of days. And then all eyes on Erin. Wednesday through Friday, it's tracking well out to sea, but we're going to be seeing dangerous surf. Waves of 6 to 12 feet. I'm seeing some places talking about maybe 15-foot waves briefly, and then rip current risk definitely increasing and some coastal flooding as well. So we'll have to watch for that. Temperatures this morning out the door in the low 70s, 72 in Millsboro, 72 in Georgetown and Milton, 76 in Lewis with 76 in Ocean City. And we've got a light northwest breeze right now, but that'll be shifting to the northeast as a cold front is sliding through, and that cold front making its way through Dover, then eventually pushing south, but then stalling just south of us, and that will be the focus for clouds and some showers as we go through the next couple of days. You can see it on Futurecast. Any breaks in the clouds this morning, well, it quickly gets filled in by the clouds by mid-morning, and then a northeast wind behind that front, and temperatures only into the upper 70s for highs today. That's it. By noon, a stronger northeast wind, and we start to see some areas of light rain and drizzle building in mid-afternoon, and that continues right into the evening hours with temperatures in the 70s and still unsettled overnight tonight with drizzle and light rain. And this pattern continues into next week, next Tuesday, I should say, tomorrow. We're looking at showers and some drizzle. And then finally by tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, we're seeing some breaks in the overcast finally. And then Wednesday highs into the low 80s. Higher rip current risk today from Lewis to Fenwick Island. Also some coastal impacts. We could see maybe impacts of water rises up to about a foot along the coast, so watch for that. Gusty winds over 30 miles per hour at the coast, and we're looking at those winds pretty persistent as we go into your Tuesday. Here's Hurricane Erin now, still a Category 4 barely, but as these storms weaken, they tend to spread out, and it's lashing the Turks and Caicos now. It'll be moving east of the Bahamas and then turning to the north as a Category 3, and then well offshore from us as we go into Thursday and Friday, and all the models are taking it out to shore, but we're looking at the big waves building in later Wednesday into Thursday. You can see on the legend up here, 6 to 12-foot waves, I think, as we go into your Thursday. Maybe a little higher along the Maryland coast, maybe not as high along the Delaware coast, but some of those waves could exceed 12 feet and offshore, maybe 30-foot waves, and then conditions do start to improve as the storm moves away on Friday. 76 in Milford today, 76 in Georgetown with some scattered showers. Cambridge and Vienna around 76, and into Salisbury around 78, and then Ocean City 75. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, cloudy, unsettled the next 2 days, and then pretty quiet Wednesday through Friday with upper 70s and lower 80s with dangerous surf and rip currents later Tuesday into early parts of Friday. Right now the weekend looking good, a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the low to mid 80s.
All right, thank you, Bob. Funeral services for former Delaware Governor and Congressman Mike Castle are taking shape. Visitation for Castle is set for Chandler Funeral Home in Wilmington from 5 to 8 p.m. on Thursday. A private burial for Castle is at St. Mary Magdalene Roman Catholic Church in Wilmington at 10:30 a.m. on Friday. A celebration of life will follow at the Wilmington Country Club. Mike Castle's political career began in 1966 as a Delaware state representative. He later served as state senator, lieutenant governor, two-term governor, and then there were the 9 terms as a U.S. congressman. Castle was a moderate Republican. Welfare reform was one of his biggest accomplishments, as well as help for diabetics. In to this day. He is the last Republican to serve as governor or in Delaware's congressional delegation. He was 86 years old. And for more on Mike Castle's legacy and how he is being remembered, be sure to check out CoastTV.com. A rare mammal sighting is the talk of the town in Chincoteague. According to the U.S. Navy, bottlenose dolphins are the most common to visit Virginia's coastline, especially as the waters get warm later in the summer. But it's unclear if this young white dolphin is a bottlenose. Experts haven't weighed in yet on just how long the dolphins expect to stick around. It's now 5:52 and time to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pet is living her best life at 20 years old. On your screen, that is May. May loves sunshine, catnip treats, and pets. Her family says cheers to another year, and May was submitted to us by Allison in Oak Orchard. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. On your screen, that QR code at the top, scan that, get your furry friends or other friends to us at Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. And we're just a few weeks away from the second annual Walk for Prostate Cancer. The event is put on by our very own Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, who is a prostate cancer survivor himself. It takes place Saturday, September 13th at 10 a.m. It's when the walk starts, with registration starting at 8 and 9 a.m. at Cape Henlopen State Park. There will be free, non-invasive testing on this site. And I'm looking forward to walking in that event. Right now it is 5:56 on this Monday morning. Got a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door. And Bob, you're tracking some cooler conditions as we start the week.
Yes, and I think our lawns will appreciate it, Matt. I don't know about yours, but mine's a little on the brown side. And we're going to be looking at cloudy skies and increasing showers as we go through the morning, and the winds start to pick up from the northeast behind a cold front. And we're going to see showers developing later this morning into this afternoon. Showers and patchy drizzle. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast that continues into Tuesday with a high of 76. And then building seas, dangerous rip currents as well from offshore Hurricane Erin later Tuesday, continuing through Thursday. And the weather is going to be pretty quiet with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies at that time. 81 on Wednesday, near 80 Thursday and Friday. Seas start to calm down on Friday as Erin moves offshore and out to sea. And then this weekend, 83 Saturday, 84 on Sunday. Maybe another shower chance by next Monday, with a cooling trend by Wednesday, upper 70s and partly cloudy skies.
Bob, and coming up on our next hour, Wave Watch, how beach patrols in our area are preparing for rip currents resulting from Hurricane Erin. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.